Hey guys, YouTuber Undertaker. Alright, and since I have made the last few videos giving just talking about my dad's condition and giving updates and stuff, I figured since I've been doing a few of those, I'm probably kind of been boring you guys a little bit with all those updates, so I figured I would just now make another video for people's actual enjoyment rather than continuing talking about that for now. Yeah, because he's still doing better and stuff, and he's still getting better, still going through physical therapy and stuff. So he's still getting better. But in the meantime, I figured that I would finally do another video for your guys' actual enjoyment. And so I figured that I would do another retro wrestling review. And with February being upon us now, I figured what I would do is I would review a retro No Way Out show. And so I decided to review No Way Out 2001. And this was a phenomenal show. The WWF was just they started 2001 big with three really great pay-per-views in a row with Royal Rumble, this, and WrestleMania. Lundrick has really said that was really the best streak of the three pay-per-views in a row, and it was really. Just all three shows really were just really, really phenomenal, and this show was just no exception. This was just a really, really great show. This is probably outside of the four, maybe even the five, biggest pay-per-views of the WWF with Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, King of the Ring, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. This is probably one of the best of like the non-big pay-per-views like that. And this is definitely has to be probably top three. It may even, well, I don't know, because there are still pay-per-views like a Backlash 2000 and there are just other pay-per-views that really aren't part of the major big ones that have also been really great. But this definitely has to be top three. This was just such a phenomenal show. There wasn't really that much bad stuff. There was probably one or two bad matches, but everything else really was just at least really good. And there was even some a lot of really great stuff. There were three or four actual great matches on the show, and just about everything else aside from a couple of bad matches were still pretty entertaining still, even if the matches itself wasn't very weren't all that memorable. But this was still just a phenomenal show. Entertaining for the most part, and this was just one of what the Attitude Era was really all about, and this really was just such a great show. This and Backlash 2000 probably have to be the two best pay-per-views of the Attitude Era. Even even if you would include all the major pay-per-views that I was just saying, the 4 or 5 biggest pay-per-views, these two shows would still probably even still be up there with the great shows of the Attitude Era. Of course, there's WrestleMania 17, of course, but these two shows would probably be probably at least top 5 of the best Attitude Era pay-per-views of all time. And this was really just a great show. I just really cannot say that enough. Just about everything about the show was really, really good to even great. So just a phenomenal show, really. Alright, so let me just talk about the card. So the show opened up with the Hardcore Championship on the line, Raven defending against Big Show. And this was I guess this was an alright match. Not really the best way to open up the show, but this was still hardcore title, and this was just really hardcore stuff. It was basically just a 4-minute match with Raven and Big Show really just brawling with a bunch of weapons and stuff. And then as they were just using a whole bunch of weapons, then we got a bunch of runs from other superstars Crash and Steve Blackman and Hardcore Holly and Billy Gunn. It was just all these guys just fighting out with each other and just a huge brawl and stuff. It was just total utter chaos, really. And eventually Billy Gunn ended up pinning Raven to win the title. And then the brawling just continued, and everybody was still fighting each other. And eventually then Raven then and like regained the title by pinning Billy Gunn again. And yeah, and then yeah, as the chaos like was still continuing, I guess the brawl was just still ensuing. Then Big Show eventually like then chokeslammed Raven and then like right through a trash can and then pin Raven. And then yeah, Big Show ended up like winning the title. And then yeah, Big Show was able to like avoid everyone else, and yeah, Big Show ended up leaving as the hardcore champion. So yeah, it really was just like more of a brawl than an actual match and stuff, and probably really not the best way to start off the show, but yeah, it was still like fine, I guess. I mean, yeah, it was like kind of a cluster in a way, but yeah, it was still like I think like it wasn't horrible or anything. Like I guess it was like fine, especially like for a hardcore match. So yeah, not really the best, but yeah, it was all right, I guess. I give it like 2 stars. And then next up, we had a fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental Championship. Chris Jericho defending against X-Pac, Eddie Guerrero, and Chris Benoit. And this was just a really great fatal 4-way right here. I mean, yeah, I think this is like one of the more overlooked Intercontinental title matches ever, because really I don't hear really anybody really talking about this match when they talk about great Intercontinental title matches. Of course, like the month before, there was like Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho in the ladder match, which was a great match. So yeah, I guess that probably ends up like overshadowing this match because this just took place a month after that. But yeah, this was still a pretty great match right here. I mean, no, yeah, there was just like a lot of offense and counters from like everyone in this match. Like I think everyone got enough offense here. I liked early on the match when X-Pac tried to do an X Factor on Chris Benoit, and then Chris Benoit just ended up like reversing it into a crossface and stuff. Yeah. And of course, like this was still when like Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero were still part of the Radical, so they were like kind of teaming up in this match. But there was like a point where like I think Eddie Guerrero had a cover, and then Chris Benoit ended up putting the guy's foot on the rope. Yeah. So yeah, then yeah, there was like at one point like Chris Jericho had Chris Benoit in the Walls of Jericho, and when Eddie Guerrero tried to come save Chris Benoit, then like Chris Jericho then just let go and then put Eddie Guerrero in the Walls of Jericho. Yeah, and yeah, this was just like a really great match. I mean, all 4 guys got in a lot of offense here, and yeah, all 4 guys looked really good, and yeah, this was just like such an entertaining match right here. I mean, yeah, these 4 guys really just yeah, despite the fact that really X-Pac really was like this was like really when he was like starting to really go down, and yeah, this was like right at the end of like his DX style run, and when he like was leaning towards like the X Factor part of his career, which really wasn't very good. Yeah, so yeah, I guess this is like X-Pac went out of like his good gimmick with a bang with this match. Yeah, and yeah, this was just a really great match. That's right here, and yeah, a lot of near falls and a lot of counters, and yeah, just a really great match. And I really did like the ending where like Chris Jericho then just like he rolled up X-Pac, but it was a clever way where he was like really just like rolling up X-Pac with his legs and stuff, and like he hooked X-Pac's legs with his own legs, and then just like bent back like that, and then got the pin. So yeah, I thought that was a really like nice way to really roll up X-Pac and get the win. So yeah, Chris Jericho ended up retaining the title. So yeah, this was just a really, really great match and a really overlooked Intercontinental title match. So yeah, I give this like 4 stars. This really was like pretty great. Yeah. Then next up we had Trish Stratus versus Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley. And yeah, despite like this really not looking like a very good match, and considering how really Stephanie and Trish really didn't have very many matches prior to this actually was a pretty. This actually was, I think, uh, probably a good match right here. I mean, yeah, I mean, this was just like I think this really surprised people because yeah, you figured this really would have been like a really sloppy and just a really just a very like just really slow and just very sloppy and just yeah, really not look good at all. But they actually did pretty good here. And yeah, this was like a surprisingly good match. I mean, yeah, I mean yeah, it was more like a fighting than actual wrestling here, but yeah, it was like entertaining to watch. Like this wasn't something where you were just like, oh come on, just end this, or like really. I mean, this actually was like pretty entertaining to watch. I mean, yeah, they were just like fighting each other on the outside of the ring, and yeah, they were just like going after each other constantly, and so yeah, this I really don't can't really find anything to really complain about this match. So yeah, I think that this really did end up like being a good match really. And yeah, they were just like pretty much fighting each other her throughout this match and stuff. And then eventually like William Regal then came out, and at one he like tripped the referee, and then at one point as Stephanie was down, William Regal ended up like pulling Trish onto Stephanie, but then like as like the referee was counting for the pinfall, then William Regal just ended up like putting Stephanie's foot on the rope. So yeah, it was just like really confusing. Like, what was William Regal trying to do? Was he trying to help Trish? Was he trying to help Stephanie? So yeah, and then yeah, Trish just wasn't happy that William Regal just put Stephanie's foot on the rope, and then Trish ended up just slapping William Regal, and then after that, then William Regal just ended up like nailing Trish with a Regal cutter, and then that allowed Stephanie to get the pin on Trish and win the match. So yeah, Stephanie ended up winning the match, and so yeah, it was like a surprisingly good match, really. I would give this about I give it about like 3 stars. Like yeah, really surprisingly good. So yeah. And then next up, we had the 3 Stages of Hell match with Stone Cold versus Triple H. And yeah, this match was a really, really great match. I mean, yeah, I really did like the Survivor Series match. I really did like the finish with Stone Cold dropping Triple H inside a car from a forklift. And so yeah, I really did like this feud, and yeah, it all culminated here, and yeah, they ended up having a really great match. I mean, what's a 5-star level for me? Personally, I would can't go so far to give it 5 stars because while it was definitely like a really great match, I felt that at some point it was like dragging on a little too long. But yeah, this was still like a great match. I mean, yeah, this was a 3 Stages of Hell match, so yeah, basically like 2 out of 3 falls. The first match was just a regular one-on-one match, and yeah, Stone Cold was like really targeting Triple H's arm to really so Triple H wouldn't be able to use the pedigree, and at the same time, well, yeah, Triple H was also like targeting Stone Cold's leg. Yeah. Again, so yeah, the first fall it was basically just like really standard stuff. Like, yeah, the first fall with just the normal match, it really just was like pretty standard and stuff. But yeah, it was still like good, and yeah, it was just like standard in ring action. And then yeah, Stone Cold eventually hit the stunner on Triple H to win the first fall. Yeah. And then the second fall was a street fight, and then yeah, this was where it like really picked up. Like there was a lot of weapon use here. Like there were like chairs involved. There was a barbed wire wrap 2x4. There was a sledgehammer. Yeah, there was just like a bunch of weapon use in the street fight. Yeah, at one point, like Triple H tried to go for a pedigree on Stone Cold through the announce table, but then Stone Cold ended up countering it and had a back body drop on Triple H through the Spanish announce table. Yeah, and yeah, just like a bunch of weapon use here. Like one point, like I think the ring bell was used at a point in this match, and then yeah, Triple H then like was like then using the sledgehammer and well was trying to use it. Yeah, and then yeah, Stone Cold ended up like trying to hit a stunner on Triple H, but then Triple H was able to fight out of it, and then he ended up hitting Stone Cold with the sledgehammer, and then hit a pedigree on Stone Cold to get the pin to win the second fall. And then the last fall was a steel cage match, and you know it was once again like really great stuff. Like uh oh good, yeah, I'm just gonna go off on an off note real quick. Yeah, I just got a text from my dad because yeah, just to give you guys like yeah, just go off on a tangent a little bit, just to give you like a little bit more of an update. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'll get back to the match in just a second, but yeah, my dad like he's like been sitting and stuff. Like he's been in a wheelchair a lot for the last few days, and like his feet were starting to get swollen, and like yeah, today like he was having an he was told he was going to have an ultrasound in his feet for blood clots, and I just got a text from him saying that he doesn't have any blood clots. So yeah, that's good for him. Yeah, because yeah, we were just kind of wondering like if there was anything in his feet or anything, because yeah, I saw his feet; they really did look swollen. But yeah, I just got a text from him saying that he doesn't have any blood clots. So yeah, that's good. Okay, so yeah, getting back to this match. Yeah, and yeah, there was once again like a lot of weapon use in the cage match. Yeah, Stone Cold still was like using chairs and 2x4 and stuff, and Triple H was still using the sledgehammer and stuff. And yeah, just like a lot of weapon use once again. And yeah, Triple H actually he did hit a pedigree on Stone Cold, but Stone Cold ended up surviving it. And then yeah, Triple H ended up also surviving the stunner, and yeah, and then I actually did like the end. I thought the end was a real clever way for Triple H to really win this match. Like, Stone Cold like had the barbed wire 2x4, and then Triple H had the sledgehammer, and they both hit each other in the face at the same time, and then yeah, they both then fell down, but Triple H ended up like falling onto Stone Cold. Well, and then yeah, then that allowed Triple H to get the pin and win. So yeah, Triple H ended up winning the match. And so yeah, this was like a really great match right here. I couldn't quite go 5 stars because like I said, I felt that it kind of like dragged on a little bit in some falls, but yeah, it was still like a really great match nonetheless. So yeah, I give this 4.5 stars. Like it was like a really, really great match. And then next up was Jerry Lawler versus Steven Richards. And yeah, this really was just like this really was just like not good. And this was just kind of like this was just kind of like I guess just a buffer match to just let people kind of catch their breath between the Stone Cold Triple H and then the match after this. But yeah, this really was just not good. I mean, yeah, the story for this match was basically just if King won, like the cat would end up like getting naked and stuff, and if Steven Richards won, like the cat would end up joining Right to Censor or something. I really don't know. But yeah, this wasn't good. But luckily, this only lasted like 5 minutes. And yeah, Ivory and the cat were like getting involved in the match at ringside and stuff. And then yeah, and then at one point like Ivory tried to help Steven Richards, but King like ended up fighting off Ivory too. And then like at the end of this match, the cat then like tried to get involved and tried to hit Steven Richards with the women's title belt, which Ivory held at the time. But yeah, then like she accidentally ended up hitting Jerry Lawler, and then that allowed Steven Richards to get the pin. So yeah, Steven Richards won the match, and so yeah, I guess the cat ended up joining Right to Censor. But I don't really remember anything with her in the Right to Censor. I think she left the company like very shortly after this. So yeah, kind of like a waste of time with this whole story and stuff. So yeah, it really wasn't good. I give it like, I just give it this like 1 star. And then next up, we had a triple threat tables match for the tag team championship. It was the Dudley Boyz defending against Edge and Christian and the Undertaker and Kane. And yeah, this was good. I mean, yeah, nothing too special about this, but yeah, it was a good match. I mean, it was entertaining. I mean, well, yeah, just like yeah, all 3 teams just got an offense here, and yeah, there were like uses of like tables and chairs and stuff, and so yeah, I guess this served its purpose. I mean, yeah, nothing memorable, but entertaining and stuff. And then yeah, at one point, as Undertaker and Kane looked like they had the match won, then Rikishi and Haku then interfered, and then they were fighting with Undertaker and Kane, and they fought up the rampway, and then eventually the Dudley Boyz ended up hitting a 3D on Christian through a table to get the win, and yeah, the Dudley Boyz ended up retaining the titles. So yeah, nothing special, but yeah, it was good, I guess. I give it like 3.25. And then we got the main event for the WWF Championship, Kurt Angle defending against The Rock. And yeah, once again, just like Stone Cold and Triple H, this really was a great match. I'm not sure which match I can really say is better because both matches really were great, but I think I may have actually liked this match a little more than Stone Cold vs. Triple H. I think that this was like a little better paced than Stone Cold and Triple H was. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Rock and Kurt Angle just had like really great chemistry with each other, and I think it really gets overlooked because not a lot of people really do talk about Rock and Kurt Angle's matches. But yeah, this really was a great match. I would say that this was definitely better than the No Mercy match match between them. And yeah, this really just was a really great match. I mean, it was a really great back and forth match. Like, I did like at one point, like, Kurt Angle hit a couple of Billy Dudley suplexes on The Rock back to back, and then The Rock then, like, responded with a Billy Dudley suplex of his own. Yeah, and just, yeah, really great back and forth match between the two of them. Yeah. At one point, then, like, there was a random run-in from the Big Show. Big Show just ended up, like, coming down to the ring and then just chokeslamming Mike Chioda, the referee, Kurt Angle, and The Rock. It was just, like, a really, like, random run-in, and, yeah, I feel like Lundrick has said that he still really doesn't understand that interference to this day, and neither do I. Like, what was really the point of that? Yeah. And then, like, The Rock ended up, like, hitting Kurt Angle with the WWF title at one point. But, yeah, Kurt Angle ended up, like, surviving. And then, yeah, Kurt Angle then had the ankle lock on The Rock for, like, about a minute. And then, yeah, then, like, The Rock ended up, like, hitting a spinebuster and people's elbow on Kurt Angle, but Kurt Angle ended up surviving. Yeah. Yep. And then, yeah, at one point, like, Kurt Angle exposed one of the turnbuckles and then ended up, like, throwing The Rock face first into it and had hit The Rock with an angle slam, but The Rock ended up surviving that. Yeah. And then, yeah, The Rock eventually then ended up, like, throwing Kurt Angle face first into the exposed turnbuckle, and then The Rock hit a rock bottom on Kurt Angle, but Kurt Angle ended up kicking out of that too, but, yeah, Kurt Angle just, like, I think he just barely got his shoulder up to kick out of the rock bottom. Yeah. Yeah, but then, yeah, right after that, then The Rock hit another rock bottom on Kurt Angle, and then The Rock got the pin, and then The Rock became the new WWF champion. So, yeah, this was really just like a really great match right here. I'd say this definitely does top the No Mercy match that they had. You remember back when I reviewed No Mercy 2000, I was really praising that match, saying how great it was, but I think this match is even better. I mean, yeah, The Rock and Kurt Angle, they just really did have great matches, and like I was just said, I think just their matches really do get overlooked because, yeah, The Rock and Kurt Angle really did have great chemistry together, and their matches really were great. No Mercy was great, but this was even better. So, yeah, this was just like a really great match right here, and I think I may have actually enjoyed it a little bit more than Stone Cold Triple H. So, yeah, once again, I give this 4.5 stars. This really was just a great match and a really great way to end the show with The Rock becoming the WWF champion. So, yeah, great match. So, yeah, overall the show, I give it about, I don't know. I give it probably, I guess, a 9 out of 10. I mean, yeah, I'm sure like, some people think I could probably, giving it a little bit of a low rating. Because, yeah, some people do give this, like, 9.5 out of 10. Some people give it, like, 9.25. But, yeah, I'm going to stick with 9 out of 10. And because, I mean, I think some people may complain about that, saying I'm going too low on it, but come on, it's 9 out of 10. That's still like giving this like a really great rating because, yeah, it still is a great rating because, yeah, this really was just a great show. Oh, just like a bunch of great matches, but the Intercontinental title match, Stone Cold Triple H, The Rock Kurt Angle, and just about everything else in the show was still at least good. I mean, yeah, the only really like truly bad thing on the show was Jerry Lawler and Steven Richards, but everything else was still at least enjoyable because, yeah, even that hardcore title match, despite the fact that I gave it a fairly low rating, it was like still like enjoyable for what it was. And I enjoyed watching it, and yeah, just everything really besides the Jerry Lawler Steven Richards match I thought was like at least enjoyable, and yeah, everything else besides the hardcore title match and Jerry Lawler Steven Richards, I did give at least 3 stars, even Stephanie versus Trish. So yeah, this was like an overall a really great show, and really did like send the WWF like on a really great note heading into WrestleMania which was the next pay-per-view. So yeah, this really was just a great show, and like I said before, this is probably like with Royal Rumble, this show, and WrestleMania, probably the 3 best like straight pay-per-views in a row ever in WWF WWE history, because yeah, all 3 were really just great shows. So yeah, I definitely do recommend the show if you haven't seen it before. It really is just a great show. Definitely watch like Rock versus Kurt Angle and Stone Cold Triple H, and if you really want to, even the Intercontinental title Fatal 4, because yeah, all 3 matches really are great, and especially like Stone Cold Triple H and The Rock Kurt Angle are really great. So yeah, definitely check the show out if you haven't seen it before, without any doubt in my mind. Definitely watch the show. Alright, so, yeah, that does it for my review of No Way Out 2001. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and there's also another No Way Out review that I also would like to review. I may end up, like, reviewing that No Way Out review sometime later this month. So, yeah, but, yeah, this is still, like, really great one overall, so, yeah, I guess, like, yeah, I'm glad I reviewed this one, too. Alright, so, yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this review, so, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.